We thought it would be a normal day at the airport, but it ended up delivering moments that have all of ARMY analyzing every detail. While Jimin lands en route to Paris for one of the most important events of his career with Dior, Jungkook and the other members depart for Madrid for new commitments that are already generating buzz. But that's not the most curious thing. Some fans began noticing small elements that seemed to connect them even though they were in different countries, and comparisons quickly followed. And just when it seemed that nothing else could surprise us, Jungkook decided to respond to a criticism that no one expected him to answer. His reaction generated thousands of comments and sparked a debate that continues to grow. What exactly happened, and why is everyone talking about it right now? Jimin arrived at the airport to catch his flight to Paris, where he will participate in Fashion Week as Dior's global ambassador. Watching him walk, it's clear he prepared meticulously for this moment, transforming the airport into a runway where his sophisticated style captivates everyone's attention. It's impressive to remember how he went from dreaming of being an artist in Busan to now being Dior's guest of honor at such an important event. What makes this moment even more interesting for those of us who follow the couple is seeing how Jimin carries all that positive energy with him to Paris. Observing his confidence and elegance, it's easy to see that Jimin is focused, yet always with that essence he shares with Jungkook. Although they are currently in different places due to their responsibilities, the way Jimin shines on this trip shows us that his relationship is a priority that accompanies him everywhere. Paris is about to see the best of him, and we know that the light he projects is a reflection of how good he feels being supported by someone like Jungkook. For anyone who observes his journey, it's clear that this trip to Paris isn't just about fashion, it's about the success of someone who works hard to reach the top. Seeing Jimin achieve this goal fills us all with pride because we know the effort behind each of his accomplishments. While Jimin heads to France, Jungkook, along with RM, Jin, Suga, and Taeyong, were spotted at the airport, ready to travel to Madrid for the Arirang World Tour. Jungkook walked confidently toward the plane, demonstrating that he's fully prepared to fulfill the group's commitments in this new city. Seeing the group together for this trip reminds us of their discipline, because even though the tour's pace is intense, they always find a way to maintain their commitment to the music and to ARMY in every country they visit. It's exciting to see Jungkook ready for this leg of the tour, especially because we know that every moment in Madrid will be an opportunity to create new memories. Although we saw him wearing his mask in the photos, his warmth is something that never hides, and it's what we miss seeing the most. For us Jikook fans, seeing Jungkook depart for Madrid while Jimin is in Paris confirms that they are both working toward a common goal, always united by that special bond they share. This Arirang tour is the perfect opportunity to see them continue to grow and support each other, even when their schedules sometimes require them to take different flights. The anticipation to see Jungkook in Madrid is immense, as we know that, as always, he will give it his all on stage. We are certain that this trip will be a complete success and that each performance will be an unforgettable moment for everyone following the Arirang World Tour. We hope they have a safe trip and arrive in Madrid safely so they can give us those moments that make the group unique. Although Jimin and Jungkook are headed to different destinations, it's impossible not to notice how they remain connected through details that seem planned for each other. As Jimin walked to his plane to Paris in a very elegant style, it was impossible to ignore his gold and silver accessories. For those of us who follow the couple closely, this was a direct sign. These are the same colors that have always identified their personal microphones. Seeing these small elements on Jimin, right at the moment he physically separates from Jungkook, makes us understand that even though they aren't on the same plane, they always carry something that unites them and reminds them of their special bond. These style choices aren't just fleeting trends, they are clear signs of that connection that only the two of them understand. As Jimin strutted on his impromptu runway at the airport, his choice of silver and gold accessories was a visual message that immediately resonated with Jungkook's essence. It's that subtle yet direct way they are always communicating, making each of their movements hold a hidden meaning for those of us who love seeing them together. What truly excites ARMY is seeing Jimin maintain his class and sophistication, while Jungkook retains his characteristic serious and mysterious demeanor. The combination of these two qualities creates the perfect balance in their relationship. While Jimin dazzled at the airport, Jungkook maintained that steadfast composure that demonstrates, no matter what, he is Jimin's loyal companion. They don't need to say a word, because these small details, like the colors of their accessories, are the most sincere proof that their relationship is what drives their every move. When we look closely at Jimin and Jungkook, we realize they're like two pieces that fit together perfectly, especially when we look at their hands. Jungkook's hand stands out for being strong, covered in tattoos, and possessing an intensity that reflects his determined and protective nature. On the other hand, Jimin's hand has a delicacy and softness that seems like an artistic detail, something that always draws attention for its elegance. Although they have completely different physical styles, seeing them together or noticing how they care for each other makes us see that they are the ideal couple, where strength and gentleness unite to form a whole. It's very clear to all of us fans that these physical differences are just a reflection of how well they complement each other in their daily lives. Jungkook loves to demonstrate that strength and confidence while taking care of Jimin, and Jimin contributes that softness and tenderness that makes the relationship unique and special. Observing these details, even though they may seem simple, confirms that their connection is real and profound. It's no coincidence that their hands look so good together. It's the physical embodiment of how two people with distinct personalities can build such a strong bond, one admired by us all. For those of us who follow their journey, these unique traits are the signs we look for in every new video or performance. Jungkook's tattooed hand and Jimin's delicate hand are already a symbol of how much they love each other. It's fascinating to see how two such distinct styles end up being the perfect definition of their relationship. They teach us, with just these small gestures, that no matter how different they may seem on the outside, inside they are united in a way that no one can break. Jungkook didn't let a recent negative comment about his personal tastes go unnoticed. An internet user questioned Jungkook about his love of anime, trying to belittle it by saying he didn't watch it when he was younger because he was working, and treating him in a derogatory way. These kinds of comments, which aim to attack someone's interests, were met with a firm and direct response from Jungkook, demonstrating that he doesn't allow anyone to tell him how to live or what to enjoy, regardless of others' opinions. His reaction was immediate, making it clear that he doesn't tolerate people outside his life judging his hobbies or his work history. Jungkook's response was clear and professional, putting the person who tried to question him in their place with the question, "Who are you to say something like that?" With these few words, Jungkook immediately set a boundary against disrespect. This action is yet another sign of Jungkook's maturity, as he doesn't need to explain his private life to strangers. It's clear that he values his time and his preferences, and this public response confirmed that he has the necessary confidence to defend himself against anyone who tries to criticize him unfairly. It's a real demonstration that he stands firm against any attack that attempts to damage his image or his peace of mind. These kinds of situations show us how Jungkook acts not only on his own but with a conviction that reflects the strength of his personal world. It's easy to see that he isn't intimidated by external criticism because he has Jimin's constant support. The way Jungkook put a stop to the netizens' comment gives us a clear idea of his self-confidence. For Jikook fans, seeing Jungkook so sure of his stance is a reminder of why Jimin trusts him so much. They are both determined people who know how to protect what they love and, above all, how to safeguard the special bond they maintain in the public eye. Furthermore, the fact that Jungkook decided to address this directly in his social media stories shows us that he prefers complete honesty to silence. He knows perfectly well that his behavior is observed by millions, and by acting this way, he's also teaching his followers to value themselves and not accept unfair criticism from people who don't know their story. This "don't let anything slide" attitude is precisely what makes his relationship with Jimin so balanced. While Jimin projects that calming elegance, Jungkook provides the necessary strength to defend his space. They are, without a doubt, a team where both know when to be gentle and when to be firm so that their story continues to be as respected as it has been until now. Seeing Jungkook and Jimin, it's impossible not to notice how different they are at first glance, but that difference is precisely what makes them fit together so well. Jungkook appeared dressed all in black, with his hat and mask, projecting that serious and mysterious image that always accompanies him and that attracts everyone's attention without him saying a single word. On the other hand, Jimin stands out for his natural elegance and that delicate gaze that makes him look as if he's always ready for a professional photo shoot. They are two distinct ways of presenting themselves to the world that, when combined, create a balance that is noticeable from miles away. It's very clear how this contrast becomes the center of attention for all of us. While Jungkook projects that intense and firm energy, Jimin brings that touch of softness and charm that makes everything around him look better. Seeing Jungkook with his reserved style and Jimin with his impeccable and artistic presence confirms that they have personalities that complement each other instead of competing. For those of us who follow every step of their relationship, these differences are not accidental, they are proof that two people with completely opposite styles can find common ground where they both feel comfortable, safe, and, above all, complemented by each other. This duo is undoubtedly one of the main reasons why we follow their careers with such excitement. The combination of Jungkook's strength with Jimin's gentleness forms a team that works in every aspect of their lives. There's no need to look beyond these facts to understand why they are so many people's favorite couple. Their mere presence, with their distinct styles and unique personalities, offers us constant comfort. Every time they appear, even with different styles, they demonstrate that their bond is strong and that this union is what makes each of their actions a reminder of how well they care for one another, regardless of the place or situation. Furthermore, observing how these personalities coexist allows us to better understand the dynamics of their relationship. Jungkook, with his effortless arrive-and-steal-the-show attitude, seems to be the ever-present protective shield, while Jimin, with a delicacy that seems straight out of a work of art, brings to the relationship that light and harmony we love to see. It's not just about clothes or how they look on camera, it's the fact that they've both found in each other the perfect complement to what they lack. For us, seeing them together is confirmation that they don't need to be identical to be perfect for one another. Every gesture, every glance, and every time they share a space is a clear lesson that their union is, above all, a haven of mutual respect and admiration that never ceases to amaze us. When Jimin and Jungkook are in the same space, something special happens that instantly brings a smile to anyone's face, for no apparent reason. They don't need to exchange long speeches, because the way they look at each other or how they instinctively turn toward one another says it all with absolute clarity. There are people who simply fit together perfectly without having to try, and they are the clearest example of this in every appearance. When they are next to each other, the atmosphere seems to transform, the noise and movement of the world completely fade away, leaving only that warm energy they both share, making time seem to stand still for those of us who have the opportunity to observe them. The most impressive thing about this dynamic is that their connection doesn't depend on dramatic, noisy, or staged moments. Sometimes, they are simply there, standing or walking together, without doing anything special, and yet they manage to capture our full attention effortlessly. It's enough to see the natural way they share a space to understand that there is a real and everyday bond between them. For us fans, this is a clear and obvious sign of the strength of their relationship. True harmony doesn't always need to be explained with elaborate phrases, because it's present in every smile, every subtle gesture, and the relaxed way they interact in public. One's joy is immediately reflected in the other's eyes, creating a cycle of happiness that's easy to recognize. When one starts to laugh, the other responds almost instantly, as if happiness were a soft light constantly traveling back and forth between them. This behavior is consistent in all their public appearances and confirms that their relationship is genuine. There's nothing distant or foreign about their interactions, just two people who feel deeply comfortable together and who transmit that same peace to their fans. Furthermore, the fact that this behavior is so consistent over time, regardless of the event, country, or situation, provides concrete proof that their closeness is something they can't hide. While some might see just two bandmates, those of us who closely follow Jikook understand that every glance, every touch, and every shared laugh are clear signs of a mutual commitment. It's this ability to be themselves in front of the cameras that makes their stories so compelling. They don't need to prove anything to anyone with explanations because their connection speaks for itself, and we, as fans, are privileged witnesses to how two people have found their safe haven and refuge in each other. Finally, it's important to note that this harmony reflects a trust built over years. It's not something that appears overnight, but rather the result of a shared life and unconditional support that shines through in the most ordinary moments. When we see the noise of the world disappear as soon as they're near each other, we understand that their priority will always be each other's well-being. It is this peace that gives us the assurance that, as long as they have that shared energy, nothing external can break the connection that unites them, making them the couple who continue to be the greatest comfort to us all.